Coming up on MilCyberSync, the Defense Department getting ready to release its new workforce strategy.
Also ahead, the 5G network and how the U.S. military is working to locate potential security weaknesses. Those stories and more, so get ready to get in sync with MilCyberSync.
You're watching the MilCyberSync podcast with Nick Thomas and Layla Gulen.
Hello and welcome to the MilCyberSync podcast, reporting on the latest events happening in cyber news. I'm Layla Gulen with your host, Nick Thomas. Nick, great to see you.
Great to see you, Layla. How are you doing this week?
Doing great. Can you believe the year is almost over?
We are halfway through December. Have you gotten your Christmas tree up?
I most certainly have, and I think I'm done with Christmas shopping as well.
I am also done with Christmas shopping, and it has been a rainy week so far. And I hope we get some snow soon, right?
Yeah, I know. Well, that'll make a perfect Christmas time, I think.
All right. Well, just a reminder, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, click on that notification bell for all our latest posts.
Also, if you'd like to donate to the MCPA, it's easy with Amazon Smile. If you go to the link below, you can start shopping, and a portion of your purchase goes to MCPA at no extra cost to you. Plus, we are proud to take part in the world's largest and most successful annual workplace charity, the Combined Federal Campaign. Our CFC code is 10386, and we appreciate your support.
All right, we certainly do. Let's get this thing started, Layla. All right, the Defense Department is set to release a new cybersecurity workforce strategy early next year. The new strategy is expected to build off existing DoD policies, programs, and legislative authorities, such as the Cyber Expected Service Program. The foundation of the strategy will be the Defense Cyber Workforce Framework. This tool is used by the DoD to characterize different cyber and IT work roles. This strategy comes on the heels of DoD's Zero Trust strategy, released last month, that calls for the department to adopt the enterprise cybersecurity architecture by 2027.
Well, the Army has activated the 11th Cyber Battalion at Fort Gordon, Georgia. Previously known as the 915th Cyber Warfare Battalion, the unit provides tactical, on-the-ground cyber operations, electronic warfare, and information operations. The unit will help plan tactical operations for commanders and conduct missions in coordination with deployed forces. It consists of several expeditionary cyber and electromagnetic activity teams that are scalable and will maneuver with units and conduct operations on the ground for commanders. The unit came out of a pilot effort years ago to test how the Army could integrate tactical cyber and electronic warfare effects for brigades on the ground without having to rely upon the remote strategic resources of U.S. Cyber Command. The activation ceremony signifies the unit's growth from its inception of Table of Distribution and Allowances to a modified Table of Organization and Equipment Organization. Nick.
In more Army news, a capability portfolio review of the Army's network has been requested to ensure the branch has better harmonized its requirements to include tactical and enterprise portions. The review was directed by the Undersecretary as the Army continues to modernize its systems. The Army released its Unified Network Strategy in October 2021. It suggests one network capability that allows soldiers to connect from anywhere in the world and pass data more seamlessly between forward deployed forces and DoD offices. The Army is trying to avoid a piecemeal approach and envisions a singular network that spans globally. The Army is looking to refine its requirements and simplify them from the Joint Capabilities Integration and Development System once the review is complete.
A quick nod to the U.S. Coast Guard and Coast Guard Cyber. For more than 230 years, the Coast Guard has protected the nation's maritime infrastructure from adversarial nations and groups at its ports, bridges, undersea cables, shipyards, and across more than 25,000 miles of coastline and inland waterways. More than $5 trillion worth of goods passes through the nation's marine transportation system, which requires a complex system of logistics that is increasingly reliant on digital networks.
That's right, Layla. Since 2013, the U.S. Coast Guard Cyber Command responds to the growing threat of malware and ransomware to U.S. maritime infrastructure. CG Cyber is not only responsible for protecting this network, but also conducting operations in and through cyberspace to counter the ability of adversarial nations and transnational criminal organizations to damage U.S. maritime infrastructure and activities. So we are well guarded by the U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. Coast Guard Cyber, Layla. Hey, well, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube, click on that notification bell for our latest post related to everything military cyber and cybersecurity. Task Force 59, a first-of-its-kind naval exercise, took place in the Middle East to pair unmanned systems with the mesh network and data crunching tools to demonstrate a promising use for the future unmanned fleet. The ongoing Digital Horizon exercise includes 17 industry partners bringing 15 different unmanned systems, 10 of which are being operated in Fifth Fleet for the first time. Officials say a top takeaway for the Commodore is the importance of the mesh network, which is the main mover for the data, not only to collect the data to power the machine learning and AI tools, but also to control the unmanned systems. The task force has been operating for more than a year in the U.S. Fifth Fleet. Layla?
Well, the Army's Cyberdome 7 brought together Israeli and U.S. military cyber units as part of an exercise to test its mettle in defeating threats in the information dimension. The exercise took place in Savannah at the Georgia Cyber Center, where the Allied cyber forces fought off a fictional Mediterranean island dictator and his aligned hackers. The complex and realistic scenarios challenged the coalition's ability to effectively conduct operations against a highly advanced threat while defending key cyber terrain. The 5-day challenge was designed to emulate real-world threats, synchronize partner cyber operations, and build interoperability. Nick.
A report detailing potential threats associated with 5G network slicing and strategies has been released. 5G is the fifth-generation technology standard for broadband cellular networks. 5G technology can provide increased data download and upload speeds, lower latency, and allow more devices to connect to the internet at the same time. Network slicing is a 5G network architecture which allows mobile service providers to divide their network into several independent slices in order to create specific virtual networks that cater to different clients and use cases. The threat and security considerations discussed in the assessment are intended for mobile service providers, hardware manufacturers, software developers, and system integrators that design, deploy, operate, or maintain 5G networks. The report was compiled by Enduring Security Framework partners, the NSA, and CISA to better understand how to help keep this emerging tech secure. Layla?
Well, a California-based artificial intelligence software company has revealed its first 3 orders and a new 5-year, $500 million production. The agreement with C3 AI was established to further accelerate the adoption and scaling of its suite of AI-aligned technologies within the Missile Defense Agency. Defense and intelligence applications provided by the company include insider threat, security clearance adjudication, AI predictive maintenance, and more. MDA is tasked with developing America's next generation of missile defense interceptor systems. The company plans to equip the agency's test programs with an AI application to plan, analyze, and execute missile defense system flight ground test events, such as pre- and post-test efforts, including hardware-in-the-loop system tests and post-flight reconstruction. Nick.
And finally today, her name is Rosie, and she's an unlikely candidate to join the Army's ranks, but her instinct and presence has made a huge impact. Rosie is the Army Cyber Protection Brigade's SHARP therapy dog. SHARP stands for Sexual Harassment, Assault, Response, and Prevention, a program used by the Army to eliminate sexual assaults and sexual harassment by creating a climate that respects the dignity of every member of the Army family. The 2-year-old Golden Doodle participates in meetings and training events and mingles with the battalion's soldiers and civilians.
Well, Rosie is a certified good citizen and has completed the American Kennel Club's Canine Good Citizen Training. That's a set of 10 tests that provide a framework for training dogs to become polite members of society. Her skills range from interacting with strangers or other dogs to dealing with distractions, behaving when being petted, groomed, or walked, and sitting, staying, or coming on command. Rosie's primary purpose at the CPB is to be ready to provide support and care to victims of sexual trauma if called upon. Well, Rosie sounds like a 5-star dog indeed.
She's so cute. Well, if you're in the car listening and would rather watch, be sure to check us out on our YouTube channel. Find us at Military Cyber Professionals Association or MilCyber.org for all our content related to all things military cyber and cybersecurity. Be sure to like and subscribe. Click on that notification bell for all our latest posts.
Also, if you'd like to donate to the MCPA, there are 2 easy ways. The first is with Amazon Smile, and by clicking the link below, you can start shopping, and a portion of your purchase will go to MCPA at no extra cost to you. The second way is through the combined federal campaign. Our CFC code is 10386, and of course, we always appreciate your support. Well, that's going to do it for us. On behalf of Nick and myself, thank you so much for watching and listening. You're now in sync with MilCyberSync.
This has been the MilCyberSync podcast, brought to you by the Military Cyber Professionals Association. If you're listening to us on your favorite podcast app, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you're watching us on YouTube, click on the notification bell for our latest posts.